excited and glad to see you're all here. Sorry if my lighting is totally horrible because I was not quite ready. So if I'm a few minutes late, I apologize if I look like I'm crazy. There's a reason for it because I've just been running around going, oh, la-di-da-di-da, and about 5 o'clock I was like, oh my gosh, I should do something with my hair because it looked like I had stuck my finger in a light socket and it was a little bit crazy. And yeah, I was outside mulching my flower beds today and just been running around. Dropped off a carload at Savers, which my son had to go and take the rest because I couldn't fit it all or lift it all. Let's see, it's just been a crazy day. It's a great day because I actually got to get up to an alarm today. So because my daughter had a lesson in Independence this morning. Her lesson was like at 8:15, but still I had to set an alarm and get up and took a shower and put makeup on and just been running around ever since. So anyway, welcome to my kitchen. I'm so glad you're here, whether you're catching me live or you're gonna catch this on the replay later. I'm glad you're watching. So anyway, tonight, oh my gosh, so I had to go to the grocery store today because, yeah, well, you have to go to the grocery store every once in a while and because there's like nothing to eat, right? And I was getting stuff for this weekend and was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to make for dinner tonight? I'd already thought about doing the mini apple pies because I still got apples. I still have some produce that I'm trying to make stuff with and go through. And of course, everything that I want to use is temporarily out of stock. So if this is something that you are wanting, just be patient. These things will come back in stock. They're not forever out of stock. So that's why I still want to showcase them and, show you guys how to use some of these items. Even if they're not in stock right this minute, they're going to be back in stock. So don't freak out unless it's a forever out, when it's gone, it's gone. But I think most of the items that I show are either just a temporary thing or they're way old products. Like I used my Star Ice Cube trays a few weeks ago, and I'm like, those haven't been around for like 10 years. So I apologize. Look for it online, find a thrift store, go to Marketplace, because you can still find some of those things. Okay, if you guys are with me and you're seeing my my yardstick because I could not find my tape measure, it's probably in my pile of stuff over yonder where you can't see all my stuff piled up on my table. So I was looking to get everything ready like in the last 3 minutes, right? I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know where my biscuit cutters are. I think I was cleaning out my cabinets and I think I must have got rid of them, thinking that why in the world would I ever use circle cookie cutters, but they're biscuit cutters and I really need them because they come with the mini pie pan. And so I couldn't find mine. And so then I would grab my catalog and I'm looking and okay, I'm like, the big one is 5 inches. Yeah, we're gonna be shy on that because the little one is 4.4, which is about the size of this, which I was going to use for my big one. And I was gonna try to use this for my little one, which is 3 inches. So that's not gonna work. I need to find something that's 5 inches is a big biscuit. So I don't know. We're gonna make the ribs. Once we get them cooking, we'll worry about the apple pies. I think we're gonna try it, okay? So just bear with me for a minute. I've got to get my corn. I'm also making corn on the cob. So I filled my pot. You guys, I love this pot. It's just, one of those couple quart cookers and it's amazing. So I filled it with my corn. I just shucked my corn. And this is what has been discontinued. These little corn on the cob holders. These are plastic, but you screw them in and you just dump them in there. And so they don't get hot. But your corn will get hot, but you can hold on to it with that. And you cook it with you cook the corn with them on there. So you don't have to try to shove in those spiky hot things or those spiky corn cob killers into hot corn, because how can you do that? You're trying to poke it in there and not touch the corn, and so these you just put them in. But again, find them on Marketplace, on eBay, on just keep your eyes out for them. You'll see them at a thrift store somewhere. if anybody ever gets rid of them. I won't ever get rid of mine. I have 2 sets. So anyway, let me put my corn over on the stove top. I'm probably not going to turn it on just yet because we're going to get these ribs started. So the ribs, okay. So anyway, I was starting to tell you guys a story, and oh my gosh, squirrel. So I was at the grocery store, and then I'm like, what am I going to make? Because I already thought about the apple pies, right? But I was like, I still got to feed the fam. I still got to eat. Well, this is my go-to quick meal. This is whenever I'm at the grocery store, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's for dinner? And it's like, I've got to get something now. And then I got hungry while I was at the store, and I still haven't eaten lunch. But anyway, this is my go-to. So like some people, it's spaghetti, or you know, it's tacos, or it's McDonald's, or whatever. This is my go-to. It's barbecue ribs, right? So when I'm in a bind, that's what we're having for dinner. So this recipe actually calls for 1 rack, about 3 pounds of pork loin baby back, or pork loin back ribs, and then it says baby back ribs. I think I got St. Louis style, and I got 2 racks. So I have done this before with 2 racks because I know 1 rack will feed my son, and the rest of us would like to eat. So I get 2 racks. And so we're gonna just use everything else the same. 3 tablespoons of smoky barbecue rub, 6 ounces of root beer, and 1 cup of barbecue sauce. So I just make sure I have barbecue sauce, and I make sure I have root beer, and we are good to go. So let me go, and you guys, seriously, I'm gonna try to follow the instructions kind of sort of as much as I can in here. Good. Okay, I thought this one was saying I needed the serum and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I just throw everything in and turn it on usually because this is my go-to meal. I don't always have the recipe. This recipe actually comes in the book, which I also can't find because I'm in the middle of cleaning out my office. When you clean out your office, guess what happens? And for those of you who don't know me, my office is my catch-all room, especially since I haven't been working. But it's always been the craft room too because that's where I store all my craft supplies. So now it's become the everything room. So like when we painted the kitchen, everything that came out of the kitchen went in there. Everything that doesn't have a home goes in there. Nobody goes in there, so everything else goes in there. So I've been working on cleaning out this room for this week, and I have to have it done by Friday. And so now everything from that room is in this room, and it's in that room, and it's in the hallway. So I've got a mission control to Major Tom. Charisma might stay up late tonight, cleaning. And so anyway, that's the plan, Stan. Let me grab those ribs. They're in the fridge, so I'm not going to go far. I'm just going to the fridge here. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you guys, my fridge is like a crazy person's refrigerator. My fridge. I don't even know what I just said. So on top of the ribs are my pie crustos. Yes, we are going to cheat because you can, and the directions actually tell us to. So there. So on top of the ribs was the pie crust. Under the ribs, I keep them in the bag so they don't leak on anything, was my tub of Nestle's Full House cookie dough because I am addicted to the cookie sundae. So if you guys have not seen that, find that video because, oh my gosh, I make it at least once, if not twice, if not more times than that a week because between that and the s'mores in my air fryer, oh, heaven. So no wonder I've got the quarantine 15, sister. That's going on. Anyway, didn't wear an apron tonight because I want you guys to see that I get paid to cook, eat, and party. So anyway, crazy. Anyway, so I've got my racks of ribs. And it says remove the membrane from the rack, blah, blah, blah. There's a cook's tip on how to do that. You guys know how much I love raw meat. Yeah, that ain't happening. Any extra steps that I got to touch the stuff ain't happening. Season both sides of the ribs with the red, and probably says red and that. No, it doesn't. It says, and then cut them into 4 pieces in between the bones, blah, 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 blah. You guys are going to die when you see what I do. Usually, I don't even know if I go this far and season them, but for you, for you, my viewing audience, we're gonna go all out, okay, kids? Let me move this stuff over here. We're actually gonna touch the raw meat. Got the hand sanitizer right here because you know I'm gonna get like grodied out, right? Okay, so let's grab a knife. Let's grab the chef's knife. I think I sharpened this the other day. Whew, baby. You should always, I mean, that's like cooking 101. Always, always, always use a sharp knife. You guys know I really hate raw meat. I just hate raw meat. I can't become a vegetarian because I love cooked meat, but I hate raw meat. So anyway, yeah, I'm not going to make it on Naked and Afraid ever because I don't even do well in the raw meat section of the grocery store. Oh my gosh, and has anybody, okay, so is anybody else out there a huge fan of Live PD? Me. I don't know why I love Live PD. And I think it's just because it's one of those shows that you can just have on in the background. So if you're not watching it, if you're like painting or you're making something or you're looking up recipes or, you know, you're Facebooking or you're playing Sudoku or whatever, it's one of those things that can be on in the background and you can kind of watch it here and there. And I think it's hilarious to watch the drunk people, you know, and I'm not gonna have been drinking up, and you know, just whatever their excuses are for whatever. Oh my goodness. I know I have another smoky barbecue open, but why not open a new one? I might not. I might have used it all because again, this is my go-to. I had 3 soy sauces open the other day. Goodness. I have 2 rice vinegars open. Oh, I've got multiples of everything. I need to clean out the spice cabinet. So anyway, you can see I'm going to measure this really precisely. I'm just going to sprinkle this on this side. And then for you guys, I mean, for me, I might just sprinkle this on while it's in the thingy, in the cooker. And notice how I'm holding the rub now like it's, I can't touch it because I touched raw meat. Okay, so watch this. So I'm not even going to cut it up because it's like, I just am going to throw it in there just like that. You saw it right here. You saw it live. Okay? And I know it tells you just to do 1. We're doing 2 of these because, again, I have an 18-year-old son who never stops eating. Oh, my gosh. I'm serious, you guys. If you have an 18-year-old son, tell me. Is there a secret to this? I'm going to throw some of that blood into the sink because otherwise my trash is going to stink for a month or until next Monday when it goes out. Oh. All right, sorry. We've got to take a moment. We're going to take a moment for station identification, a.k.a. let's wash our hands and dispose of, yeah, I tried to put the mat down to catch some of the goo and the blood and the guts and the stuff that got everywhere. Didn't so much work. I am using my Norwex cloth just so that you guys know what's going on here. Norwex don't spread germs. That's what they say. Wowza, and can you guys see the steam coming off the sink? That's some hot water going on, friends. Okay, but we are going to make apple pies on this counter, so we're going to just quickly clean that. All right, so one more step here. I know, I'm drying it, but I'm not. Hold on to your mittens, friends, because I got to use my whip it good, because I'm not so sure that I'm 100% convinced that wiping it down with a rag, with just water, is going to keep those pork juice, blood, and guts. Okay, so maybe there wasn't guts. You saw what I did. I mean, it probably isn't as horrendous as I'm making it out to be, but I am making an apple pie here later, and we're not going to chance it. Okay, done. So, all right, so we've got our racks in the quick cooker. Now we're gonna add our root beer, and it says add your root beer and the ribs to the inner pot. Oh, well, I've already added my ribs, so let's add some root beer. We are gonna add 6 ounces of root beer. In this bottle, we have 20, so we're gonna guesstimate about 6 ounces of root beer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's probably about 6 ounces. Just in case, I'm gonna make sure that I get it all the way around since we do have extra. It's okay. That's it. That's it, folks. When it's done, we're gonna mix it with this sauce. I know, we don't even add barbecue sauce at this point. You can if you want to. Yeah, we add the barbecue sauce later at the end. Just double checking everything, you know. Sometimes I tell you this is my go-to. That means sometimes I don't get the recipe out and follow it precisely. Sometimes I just add in some barbecue sauce and go. So anyway, I don't know how well you can read this from where you're at, but we're going to turn this little dial here until we get to the beef pork button. And once that lights up, voila, we're just going to push the little button start. Before we do that, you guys heard I got the lid on tight. I did check and made sure that my seal was in there, because I do wash that inner seal right in the dishwasher. You want to make sure that your buttons here, this is flush, not indented, because when you release it, you're going to push it down. It releases the steam. It stays down until you pop it back up. Make sure the release valve here, your steam arrows both point that way, okay? They point the same direction. Your little red button is down. That's all you want to do. Push the start button. Voila. We should have ribs in about 35 minutes. Well, it's got to get under pressure, then it's 35 minutes, and then we've got your natural release for 10 minutes. So about 45 minutes we're going to have ribs, and they are going to be amazing. Okay, so I will tell you, just in case we're not still chit-chatting when these suckers are done, at the end, you're going to remove the ribs, okay? After the 10-minute natural release, you push the button and then you release any remaining steam, pressure, right? Remove the ribs and keep warm. So put them like under a lid. Just put them on a plate, put a lid over them, something just to keep them warm. And then you're going to press the cancel button. You're going to reserve 1 cup of the juices in the inner pot. So pour the rest of the juices out except for 1 cup. So you can pour them all out, just savor 1 cup, pour it back in, whatever makes you happy. Then you're going to add your 1 cup of barbecue sauce. So you've got your 1 cup of juice, whatever's remaining in here, 1 cup of barbecue sauce. You're going to turn this button to sear, and you are going to press start. Then you're going to bring that sauce to a boil and cook it uncovered for 5 minutes, stirring frequently, and then press cancel. Then you're going to brush the ribs with half a cup of that sauce and serve the remaining sauce with the ribs. Okay, you got that? Cook's tip, if you want to make the edges crispy, you're going to brush the ribs with the barbecue sauce and then put them on a sheet pan. You can use your half sheet pan, which I love, love, love. You could even set that on top of the baking rack. Put the baking rack on your sheet pan, and then put your ribs on top of that. Then you are going to brush them. Oh, you already brushed them with the barbecue sauce, the mix, and you're going to put them on the broiler for 5 to 6 minutes until it's all bubbly and caramelized and a little bit crispy. Yum, 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 yum-alicious. I love doing that. If I've got time, I do it. If I don't, I just go for it. It's like the kids, if they're starving and saying, how much longer? I just start pulling that out and feeding it to them as fast as I can, okay? So I'm going to turn on the corn. We're going to get that bubbling. It's going to, I don't know. Maybe I don't need it doubled yet. I don't know. We're going to get it going. With my corn, I like to add about a tablespoon of sugar right to my water. Oh, the best corn ever. That's all I do. So, and then boil it for like 10 minutes or whatever and let it cool. All right, so we're going to make some mini apple pies. Friends, we're going to get out. I never thought I needed one of these mats until I had one. The best thing ever. If you've watched some of my old videos, you've seen me tape down the wax paper to my counter. Taped it down. That way I can just wad it up and throw it away when I'm done. Ha! This thing is the bomb.com. You wipe that stuff, you shake it over the trash can, wipe it off. Oh, the best thing ever. Okay, so we've got our, we're going to preheat our oven to 400. Uno momento, please. Por favor. That's what I really meant to come over here to do, probably. Got my oven preheating to 400 degrees. We're going to unroll the pie crust onto a lightly floured surface. So, guess who has some of the flour handy? Right here, babies. Let's grab these. I'm going to grab my kitchen shears right out of my knife block that you probably can't even see. We'll sprinkle a little bit of flour on here, so we are lightly flouring our surface. You guys have seen me like sanitize and wash my hands even though they're clean, right? Doesn't matter, you're not eating it. All right. This is when you're supposed to wear an apron so you can just go whoosh, and it caught all that. If I would have had an apron on, it would have caught all that yummy pork juice. Alright, I think we're supposed to roll them both out. We might have to do these suckers one at a time. Oh, so this even has, I love it, it has the size of circles. So the first circle is 4 inches, the second circle is 6 inches. We need a 5.5 inch circle. We should be able to get 3 circles out of each one of these. Okay, that's what it says, right? Cut 3 circles from each crust with the large pie dough cutter. We're gonna wing this here, friends, because where did my lid go? Oh, because I've got a handy dandy, and we might just use this for all of them. I've got my handy. This is a lid off of one of my actually it's off of my cork, my bottle cork jar. So anyway, now you know. So we're gonna cut 1, 2, 3 circles. And I already know that this is going to be.
Can I use your laptop?
Yes.
Where's it at? What are you making?
Little mini pies. It's in the TV room.
What type of pies?
Apple. So. Oopsies. I tore it just a baby bit. Alright, so we're going to cut 1. Whoops. They are going to be a little small, but you know what? We're just going to deal with it because I can't find my big cutters. They've got to be somewhere. I surely would not throw away that big. My biscuit cutters. I just don't know where the heck they are. You know, you put things in a safe place where you won't forget them, where you put them, and then you can't find them. That's what happened. So we got those, and then we're gonna make 6 of these smaller ones, which are gonna be for our pie tops. So we're just gonna make 6 of the same size again, and so that way we can just maybe pinch them together and call it good. So I probably should have tried to cut 6 and 6. No, yeah, no, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. So I got my handy dandy rolling pin out. Oh my gosh, you guys. I think I had a marble rolling pin when I first got married. Maybe I didn't. And then I got this one, I think I did, that was like amazing. That was like, it was supposed to be like a self-balancing or something. It's really light, really light. I gotta knead this a little bit because it's not one to stick together. So, and it was really nice, and I probably still have it somewhere. I think it's put away. It's like with my knife sleeves somewhere. But then I got the Pampered Chef marble rolling pin, and you guys, if you ever do like sugar cookies or homemade pie crust, this, oh, it's like heaven. It just rolls so nicely and evenly. I mean, I will tell you that there are some Pampered Chef things that I don't use. I mean, and maybe it's just because maybe that's not the baking I do, or it's just not the handy thing for me. And I'll tell you, I mean, I just don't use it. And then there's a few things that I don't have. But for the most part, almost everything that I have that's Pampered Chef, I love. And, you know, and I'll compare it to whatever I had before. And, you know, I've been there with y'all. And you think it's the best. You think, you know, or, you know, it works. So why, you know, if it works, why not use it? You know, whatever. That's all good. If it works and you're happy, don't change it. But if you can do it, if it works better and it makes you happier, you can get it done faster, or it's easier, you know, sometimes you gotta change it. I told you the stove was, and I think it's because I just pulled it out of the refrigerator. I think you really, for best results, it needs to be about room temperature. So do what I say, don't do as I do, right? Something like that. You've heard the saying. All right, let's see if we can get a couple of these out. We can knock our crust tops out. And yes, believe it or not, I have made these before. So I know I have, and the pan comes with the silly biscuit cutters. And there was a time I thought I was going to have to get a second set of these because, like making chicken pot pies or something. Because when you're making them, you're waiting. You got to wait until one's done, and then you got to wait till it's cool enough to get out of the pan before you can make the next ones. And it's such a pain. And I'm not going to worry that these aren't perfect because, oh, this one's fat. Because this is my pie crust tops, and maybe on some of them, maybe I just want to do like a crumb topping. Or I've done some. I did the weavings, and I mean, you can do different things. You can do little apple cutouts. Somewhere I even have little apple shapes, cookie cutters and stuff like that. So you can do lots of different things. So you don't really have to have exactly the right stuff. You do you. If you know you want to be the perfect chef, you could go to the Food Network, and I think there even, you know, there's some classes you can take. You know, if you want to be you know, real life, join me. Let's have a party. All right, so I've got 5. 5 out of 6 ain't bad. On that last one, let's do something fun. Let's just. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we get to it, right? We're only making 6 little baby pies. Bella and I there's the mini muffin pan. It has the 20. Oh, I used to make, and I probably need to do it again sometime. Make you make muffin tartlets. Apple taffy tartlets is what it's called. And you make them in the mini pan, and you actually you use this as your cutter. So I remember that. That's how I know that you can use. Oh, look at that. That's about perfect. So we're going to stop now. So that's how I know you can use other things. But with that, they're just little bite-sized yumminess. So, all right. Now, next, we are going to, for the filling, we're going to combine our sugar, flour, cinnamon in a large mixing bowl and mix well. Then we're going to thinly slice our apples. So I'm going to actually set all of this back over here, my friends. like a bus. I can just pick it up. It's not spilling. Oh, it spilled a little bit, but it was right here, so it's okay. It's okay, my friends. So, we are going to combine sugar. So it calls for 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar. 3 tablespoons? What the heck? That's not going to be sweet enough, is it? That's what it calls for. So 1, I'm not packing it. It doesn't say packed, so 2, 3 tablespoons. Oven just beeped. It's hot. It's hot. Pardon me. Okay, we got our 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Flour, 1 tablespoon of flour. Holy cannolis. And 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And we are going to mix. Wow. What's there to mix? Good golly, Miss Molly. That's like the babiest amount of anything ever, right? So, it says mix it well. So you see me mixing it well. Looks like it's pretty well mixed. We got a few big clumps. Just going to mush those up. But my brown sugar keeps wanting to clump together. I guess that's what brown sugar does, huh? All right, so we're pretty well mixed together. Then we're going to thinly slice our apples. Well, again, let me grab a cutting knife. I want to cheat because I can. We're going to use our apple peeler core slicer. And whoop, whoop, whoop. I will tell you that this calls for 3 Granny Smith apples. Well, I don't have Granny Smith because I have this produce box that I'm still going through, and so I'm going to use these Gala apples. I think they're going to be just fine. I used them in my my Dutch apple baby the other day, and it was delish, so why can't I use it in this, right? For all of you that are watching, this is not probably the first time you've seen the apple peeler core slicer in action. But it's like the best way you can ever thinly slice your apples. Again, you can feed those peels to the critters outside if you want to. Don't feed them to the critters in your home, probably. But you can throw them outside for the deer, the squirrels. You know, they're human too. They're not really, but the fox love apples. Possums, raccoons. All those animals love these things. So sometimes I'll throw my cores and my peels out there. I feel like Bob Ross when I talk like that. You know. Oh, Crosby's sitting by the door going, I want to go out and see if there's any critters, Mom. And one more. But it is fun, and you know, in the fall, put a pan of boiling water on and throw these apple peels in there with a little cloves and a cinnamon stick or something. And it just makes your house smell yummelish too. All right. So that's that, kids. We peeled our apples. I'm going to grab a new knife. Because you know I'm not going to use that bloody old stinky knife. I'm going to use my other one. We're just going to cut these guys. I don't know. Because they're going into the little mini pies, I just wanted to cut them a little bit. I just as thinly slice them, but oh, it does say cut the apples in half. Well, I cut them in quarters. I'm gonna go ahead and just pop them because it says they add your apples, your lemon zest, and lemon juice. Whoop, I about cut my finger off. Did you guys see that? Please tell me you were not paying that much attention. Because I'm reading the directions here. Let me grab my lemon and my juicer. Oh. Whoopsies. Sorry guys, I'm just throwing things all around here. I've got a lemon over here. Now I don't have my microplane zester. I need to get one. But I do have, I believe this is an old, and it's kind of like a zester. And it actually gives you the really pretty julienne zests. I love it. So I'm just in this, oh, it smells so yummilish. So we only need 1/4 teaspoon of zest. So I knew it didn't tell me to zest the whole entire lemon. So, I mean, you would normally want just really fine the microplane zesting. This is more than enough because we don't want it to taste lemony. We just want a little bit of zest to give it that freshness. And then we do want to juice the lemon to 1 teaspoon. Well, good golly, Miss Molly, I'm going to have to put some of this lemon in my drink because I just have a feeling that that's going to make way more than 1 teaspoon of juice. Oops, that's a recycle. So, where's our one? Test. Oh, pet. We'll just, oh, we want to strain that. We don't want to, I think I've got it on pour. Let me move this over to the strain. And 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon zest. Yummy, yum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Move this right over here out of the way. And now we will add it, toss gently to coat. That one's got a little bit of core chunk in it. So, might have had a seed. I don't know, it was black. So, we're just coating our apples, getting all that cinnamon sugar off the bottom. Yum, yum, yum. I can smell the pork is coming up to pressure. Smells good. And believe it or not, even though it said like 35 minutes, these, doing 2 racks, you're thinking, oh my God, no way. They'll still be done. They'll be amazing. You don't have to believe me, but why wouldn't you? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so transfer the apple mixture evenly into the 6 wells. These must be our wells, baby. Can you guys see? Did I put that right in the way? I think you can still see. So we're just gonna push these down in here. Yeah, see, they don't really come up all the way. So you do want to make sure to use your biscuit cutters or try to cut these out so that they are big enough to come over the tops. And I guess I can thin that out a little so they'll come up to the top. Look at that. Gosh, you guys are making it work. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? I can't tell if I'm pushing you this out of the way, and I'm sorry, I have comments, I can't see them. I will go back through and read all your comments. If you're watching this in the replay, please tag me if you have questions so I can catch those in the replay and address them. I will put the recipes in the comments as well. I always put them in the comments of my live videos, so I think I need to go back and do that to all of my YouTubes, because once I put them on YouTube, I'm like, yep, there you go, done. So I probably need to go back and add some of those recipes to my YouTube videos. So anyway, look how cute. Okay, so now we're just going to divide this evenly amongst our little wells. And you guys, if you're buying apple pie filling at the store, you're getting a bunch of water and sugar. And you guys saw how stupid easy this was to make our own apple pie filling, right? So let's start cooking at home more. No more Mrs. Smith. No, I'm just kidding. You guys can buy whatever you want. But this is stupid easy. You can do this. If I'm telling you, I'm not the world's best baker. The kids will tell you, I mean, some of my meals are flops. You know, sometimes maybe they don't like them. I told you Bella's not a huge fan of barbecue. It's growing on her because this is my go-to meal. Not necessarily with the mini apple pies and the corn on the cob. I mean, you know, sometimes it's a salad in the bag, but I have that too. Or, you know, sometimes it's just meat, you know. All you need is protein. So, now it's going to tell me to brush the edges of my small dough circles, those, with water so that we can, with the wet side down. So let's just do it. I'm not going to tell you and not do it. So we'll just do it. Let me get my basting brush. Basting brush. Well, I had it in my hand. Sorry I had to leave you off that screen. Let's just bring these bad boys right back over here. Let's get a little cup of water so we have some water so we can make some. And just don't mind, talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I gotta add a little sugar to my corn because it's starting to bubble. And you guys, seriously, I just picked that up and I went, that's how much sugar we got. So, and they're gonna boil and I'm gonna throw a lid on them and they're gonna be good and yummy, yummy, yummy. So now, okay, it said to brush some water on these. And you know why we're brushing the water on them? Because we are gonna do a wet seal. That's what it's called. A wet seal. We're going to pinch those edges down over the others. So that's all we needed the water for, really. So now, make sure there's no dog ears. And so then you're just going to pinch it in here, like that. Wet side down, and then crimp your edges to pinch them together. So, pinch the top and the bottom together, and then, you know, you can make a really pretty scalloped edge if you wanted. I just kind of press it into the thing because it's already got that little scallopy design. And so I'm just pinching them together right there into that. I don't know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, we might have a little unsealed apple pie, but whatevs. There we go. Now, use a knife to cut vent holes in the top of the dough. Bake for 23 to 25 minutes or until the crusts are golden brown. You know what we could even do? You could brush these with a little bit of butter, a little melted butter. Let's do that. It doesn't say to do that, but, you know, let's live on the edge. We're going to cut those in just a sec. Let me get a little butter. Oh, goodness sake. I found the butter. I found it. I left the fridge door wide open, but I found the butter. So, let's just put about a tablespoon and a half of butter in our little, I love these little pretzels. Pretty sure I need a few more. We are almost up to pressure. Look at that thing steaming. Don't mind me, talk amongst yourselves. We're just going to bubble that up. Turn my corn down on low. How low can you go? Then I'm going to pop the butter back in the fridge. Y'all, I'm so glad you're here. Everybody having a fantastic, today is, I hope to God today is Wednesday. Otherwise, I am live on the wrong day. Sometimes I get really nervous when it starts doing that. I'm like, oh my gosh, is everything set? It is, so it should be good to go in just a second. Oh, so I'm grabbing my butter, and I'm also going to grab, just for you, my friends, sugar shaker. So, forgot butter. Woo! Some days. And maybe I shouldn't do this right now because it's probably going to get extra goldeny. It's okay. I love butter and cinnamon and sugar on my pie crust. And so, you know, my mom used to make us cinnamon pie crust with the leftover. Whenever she'd make a pie, she'd make us cinnamon rolls, and they were just butter and cinnamon and sugar, and she'd roll it all up. She'd, you know, roll out whatever's left over of the pie dough, and she'd roll it up and then put butter on them and cinnamon and sugar. And sometimes I would just make pie crust when I was after school. That would be my after school treat. I'd make my own little pie crust cinnamon rolls. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's what I did. So, and then we're just gonna shake, shake, shake. This is just a little cinnamon and sugar already pre-mixed. And, I just know it's gonna be yellowish. Where did my knifey knife go? Oh, and now we're just gonna make a couple little holes. You can make a little star shape. You can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever you want. I think I'm just making little 5 pokies. This is where, you know, those true pie decorators, pie makers, they get really into it. I mean, you can go in and you can make little apples. I've made little leaves. You know, just depending on my mood. If I'm baking it to actually show to somebody, I will go all out. You know, if I'm making it just for our family to eat, it's like, here you go, whatever. So here we go. I'm going to stick these in the oven for about 23 minutes, and I'll come back to that in a sec. My corn is boiling its head off. All right, so I just got those started. Oh, gosh, we are still not, oh, look, it's almost under pressure. So as soon as it gets under pressure, the timer will start. It'll have a 35-minute countdown, and I'm telling you, that's it. So now dinner is on its own. I've got it in the oven. Corn's basically done. I just turned it down to warm or simmer. So this will be done. My pies will be done. They'll be cooled, and they'll be perfect once we're done eating. We can put some, or not homemade. You could put homemade vanilla ice cream on there. I've got just vanilla ice cream in the freezer, and that is like the perfect summer barbecue meal, right? Ribs, corn on the cob, apple pie. Wham, bam. Thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic night. I'll throw the recipes in the comments, and I will take some pictures and show you guys how dinner turns out. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night. Bye, guys.